How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Pixelated Pat. We're back at it with another episode of our Pokemon Gaia Hardcore Nuzlocke. Today in the agenda, we got a pretty lengthy route session, which includes some use of the HM dive and some action in the cave with the nurse. Something I noticed ever since we left Sabula Island onward towards the second half of the game is that the length of travel between towns is beginning to increase, and that is a challenge I welcome, because that's exactly what I trained for. Speaking of training, I'm sure you'll have noticed that we're bringing Abomasnow along for the ride. While I easily could have brought along Roselia, Nuzleaf, or Venusaur along for the water route, I figured it was finally time to see what Sai can really do after training her up from the Snover and giving her a Mega Stone. That's right, we now have access to another Pokemon that can use Mega Evolution, and I'm excited to see what she is made of. Oh yeah, and in case you were wondering why I'm bringing Aerodactyl of all Pokemon along for the ride through a section of the game that heavily features water-type Pokemon, it's because I felt like living dangerously for a change after taking over yet another town and a whole another gang in my quest to become the ultimate villain of Pokemon Gaia. That, and I've been wanting to see how he stands up against water-type Pokemon after learning Thunderfang over on Prestimos Island. While I know that sounds kinda reckless and evil to make a rock-type Pokemon battle water types, it'll give me a lot more confidence that I can count on him to deliver if I'm ever in a situation where I'm in a corner against a tough water-type Pokemon and he's my only option. It's just like I said before, experience is preparation and preparation is everything. One thing's for sure, it feels great having access to a Pokemon as fast and strong as Aerodactyl on the team, and I cannot wait to see what he's truly capable of once we're able to find that elusive Aerodactylite. While this is far from the first time I've raised an Aerodactyl, it is the first time I've used one in Nuzlocke, and the fact that I'll be able to Mega Evolve him later makes the experience that much more special. One thing's for sure, I'll have to do my due diligence to make sure I don't put him in a situation he can't win. After all, after losing Durana in the last episode, F's in the chat for my baby girl, I've been taking time to study up on Pokemon that I don't know much about, so that way I can do my best losing another good Pokemon to an oversight. After all, losing Durana really hurt, and the game is only going to get harder from here, so I'll have to be at my best in every way possible so that way I can avoid that pain again. Although, realistically speaking, it's probably going to be unavoidable after a certain point, that's not going to stop me from doing everything in my power to keep my Pokemon from dying. One thing's for sure though, I absolutely cannot wait until we get to the championship round of the Pokemon League. I feel like the last battle in Nuzlocke is the only time I'm really able to go all out and stop playing so defensively, which I'm sure is something you noticed if you saw my epic battle against Red and my Fire Gold Nuzlocke over on Instagram. While it's not like there hasn't been plenty of battles I had to gamble my way through, it's the final battle where I'm really able to take off the ankle weights and unleash the 8th gate. Shout out to everybody who caught that Naruto reference. That being said, we have the first of two encounters for the episode, and that would be none other than our new friend Linoone. While it's not like there weren't better Pokemon I could have come across here like Absol, Clefairy, and the ultimate HM god that is the almighty Bibarel, I'm just fine with it because it wasn't a Pelipper. The last thing we need right now is yet another flying type, and I'm sure Linoone's ability to learn a variety of different TMs will serve me well. It can also function as an HM mule, so whatever role I decide to give it, I'm sure Luna is going to serve the team as best she can. With that being said, welcome to the roster, Luna. May your pickup ability grant me rare candies and nuggets whenever I decide to pick up grind. And as tedious as pickup grinding sounds, it's something I'm 100% ready for if it gives me even the slightest chance of getting great items like nuggets, rare candies, and various healing items. I'll be saving my rare candies until the championship battle, so I'm going to need as many as possible to give my Pokemon a fighting chance due to the fact that we're probably going to be a little bit under leveled by the time we make it to the championship round due to how the levels of the trainers in the Pokemon League tend to steadily increase throughout the challenge. It's like I said before, I'm going to need to be at my strongest by the time we get to that point, and having an extra rare candy or two will help greatly in that regard. The possibility is way too good to pass up on, so bring on the pickup grind, baby. That being said, after that Gengar battle that probably could have been scary if Arrow wasn't a fast boy, we finally get to the plot point I mentioned in the intro, and that's simping over a nurse like a Brock just so I can have an excuse to share anime nurses on the screen. After all, it's not a show without fan service, and I intend to deliver. Anyways, we're able to get a quick KO with Magna, and she gives us a winter kiss by healing our team. I gotta say, what an absolute babe. That being said, it's time for our Cosmic Cavern encounter. We're able to run from this Woobat thanks to the duplication clause, making our encounter for the cave our new friend LGM. While I don't think I would have complained about any of the Pokemon I could have gotten here with Pokemon like Clefable, Sableye, Mischievous, and Mawile available, the fact that it's LGM is actually pretty huge because it finally gives us access to a solid Psychic-type Pokemon and a special attacker. Most of the Pokemon on the roster are physical attackers, so I'm excited to have LGM in the rotation. Welcome to the team, rock friend. Anyways, before the battle with the nurse and the encounter, I was talking about how I could utilize grinding with the pickup ability to generate useful items, and it reminded me of another tedious grind I've done in previous Nuzlockes, and that was the almighty payday grind. I was super lucky to encounter Persian in not one, not two, but 3 Nuzlocks in a row, and I couldn't have been happier with the financial security it brought to each run. What I would do is take Persian all the way back to an early route of the game filled with level 3 Pokemon, spam Payday, heal at the Pokemon Center to restore PP, and repeat. Between the absolute zero risk of Persian dying to lower level Pokemon and the minimal experience gain preventing the risk of overleveling Persian beyond the cap, it's one of the best strategies I've used to help me survive these long routes and dungeons in my Nuzlocks. Anyways, I'm sure you noticed we took a quick detour from the main path, and that was for the reason of picking up the TM for Thunderbolt. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am that we finally have access to such an incredibly powerful move, but I'm going to tell you anyway since that's my job as a YouTuber. It's no secret that Thunderbolt is one of the best attacks you can get, and I personally believe it's the sole reason I was able to defeat the Pokemon League in my Fire Gold Nuzlocke. If any of you that followed me here from Instagram remember that legendary run, then you'll know that I relied on Thunderbolt a lot, right up to the very end. I wouldn't be surprised if the attack played a crucial role again now that we're getting into the deep end of the run. One thing's for sure, it'll definitely help raise our power level to over 9,000 having access to such a strong attack. I can think of at least 5 Pokemon we have on the roster that are able to learn Thunderbolt, with the best contenders for the move being our Nuzlocke LGM, Zebstrika, and Manette. While I might not end up teaching it to Manette due to how much I enjoy using Toxic Spike's Hex Sweeps, it's always great to have options in a Nuzlocke because you never really know when you're going to need to switch up a moveset or something. Especially now that I have access to mover learners, tutors, and deleters, the possibilities are endless. Anyways, now that we have finally made it to Edishore Town, it's time for the main event of the episode that will lead to us receiving an amazing item. Right when we make it into town, we get to take part in a festival featuring the Shining Clefairy, but we caused an earthquake when we got here because we're the main villain of the game. However, because I felt guilty about scaring off the cute Shining Clefairy, I decided to help out the festival elder by backtracking to the Cosmic Cavern so we can bring the Clefairy back to finish the festival. After all, there's a lot of people to rob. Anyways, now that we've cut over to the cavern, we get to play a cute game of hide and seek with the Clefairy where we have to sneak up on it from behind to progress, a sequence that is very reminiscent of having to chase down the Farfetch'd in the Ilex Forest in Gold, Silver, and Crystal versions. I gotta say though, I'm glad this section of the game didn't take over Heart Gold and Soul Silver, cause then we'd be chasing down 2 Clefairy the same way you chase down 2 Farfetch'd in the remakes. Even with all the grinding I do, ain't nobody got time for that. Anyways, we're fast approaching the end of the video, so shout out to this dude for giving us a Master Ball, and shout out to all of you legends who watch my videos. That's all I got for you today, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Pixelated Pat, signing off.